Hello viewers and welcome back to episode 2 of our Arsenal save on Football Manager 22. I hope you're doing safe, I hope you're doing well, I hope you managed to grab yourselves a copy. Let me know in the comment section down below who your first save is likely to be with, who your first signings have been. We've been pretty busy here with Arsenal, managing to get a couple of players in, move a couple of players out. Let's get you up to date ahead of our first Premier League game at the London Stadium against West Ham United. Yes, viewers, we're going to be kicking off our Premier League campaign up against David Moyes and West Ham United away from home. Tough fixture to start the season. Let's see if we can get that W. Try to get our Premier League campaign off to a positive start. But let's catch you up with some of the business and some of the activity that happened during our pre-season games. It's been a bit of an up and down summer so far. So as you can see here, we went on a pre-season tour of China and picked up a couple of good victories to start, and then a 1-0 defeat against Shanghai kind of rocked us a little bit. I know pre-season doesn't really matter that much, it's all about getting the fitness. We played quite a few youngsters, but it is still a game that I was disappointed to lose. We bounced back with a 3-0 victory against Köln before a 4-3 thriller against Freiburg. That's a mouthful to say. We were actually 4-0 down at one stage before a hat-trick from Martinelli in the second half brought us back to 4-3. We weren't able to turn it around, but that was actually a really interesting game. We finished off pre-season with 2 more wins. Can't complain. And we've actually managed to do quite a bit of interesting transfer dealings as well. So first up is the departures, and we managed to sell Eddie Nketiah to Mr. Moneybags themselves, Newcastle United. We managed to get 16.5 million for him, which I think is a decent deal considering last year of his contract we didn't want him to go out on a free, and he wasn't really interested in signing a new deal. And given the fact that attack is an area that we want to improve at the club, 16.5 million is actually a very, very good fee, I think, for a young English striker. Newcastle will probably be signing more and more attackers as we go. He's played 1 game so far, he's got a goal. It'll be interesting to see how he can develop in the Premier League. I think he's a quality player, just not at the standard of quality that we want to push on for top 4 and ideally to push for the Champions League and stuff in later seasons. In an incredibly surprising turn of events, we managed to sell backup right back Cedric to Real Madrid for £10 million. I'm not too sure what they saw in him. I don't really understand why they want him. I think at right back they're pretty stacked. Looking at their squad, obviously they've got the likes of Carvajal still there, unless they've sold him. No, Carvajal is there. Odriosola's there. They've got Nacho who can play it over there if necessary. Vazquez is currently their starting right back as well. But we got that offer of 10 million and we ran with it. Cedric is not part of our plans whatsoever. We've got Tomiyasu probably as the starter. I imagine Ainsley Maitland-Niles will play a big part as that rotation and that backup right back. And we've also got Callum Chambers, who we want to sign to a contract extension. At the minute, he's not willing to talk to us about an extension, but hopefully, given some minutes, given some time, we'll be able to keep him. So Cedric has gone, and we got a cool 10 million for him, which I was ecstatic with. Another backup player that I was quite happy to see the back of was Sead Kolasinac. We sold him to Lyon for £5 million. For some reason, the board seemed to think I could have got more for him. Again, another player who was out of contract at the end of the season, not somebody we wanted to stick around for long. Kieran Tierney and Tavares over on that left-hand side, and if ever necessary, again, we've got Maitland-Niles who can play over there. Saka can play there as a complete backup if necessary. I doubt we'll ever get to it. Kolasinac went for £5 million. And the final sale so far of the summer, we've still got some more business on outgoings to happen, fingers crossed. But Pablo Mari has gone to Wolves for £12 million. It was a decent offer. We tried to get about 15, but they weren't willing to up the offer. But with the likes of Ben White, with the likes of Gabriel, we've still got Rob Holding on the books, Callum Chambers. We've also got Saliba coming back next year. And the fact that we're not in Europe, I'm hoping that centre-back, we're not going to need to rotate too much. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can stay away from injuries. But Pablo Mari, even though he only came in last year, not really got the pace that we're looking for in the Premier League. We obviously want to play with quite a high line. So Pablo Mari has gone out for £12 million. On to incomings. And the first one we've signed is Dennis Zakaria from Borussia Mönchengladbach. We managed to get him for quite cheap. 4.5 mil, which I think can raise up to about 6 million, but he's a fantastic midfielder. He's going to be out of contract in the summer. We could have waited, but there was a couple of moves from the likes of, I think PSG were interested in him at one time, so we made sure we moved quick, and it was a really cheap deal for someone that will come in, offer a very, very good rotation option. We're still looking to improve the midfield, and our next signing has done exactly that. Arsenal fans, welcome Christopher Nkunku, or as we like to call him round here, King Kunku. He is going to be our box-to-box midfielder. Just look at some of these stats. He is absolutely fantastic. 15 acceleration, 15 pace, the stamina to get up and down the pitch as this box-to-box role is something that really, really drove me to him. We've paid a lot of money to bring him in. We brought him in for 45 million that can raise up to 55 with a few add-ons here and there. But this was a primary target alongside a striker that we are in negotiations with at the moment, but I'm not going to spoil it just yet. You will have to tune in for the next episode to see if we can get that deal over the line. We're looking to bring a striker in. Fingers crossed we can do it. But Nkunku is here, and Nkunku will start his debut against West Ham. So at the moment, that's how we're looking in terms of transfers. We have managed to loan out a couple of youngsters as well. Olayinka's gone out on loan. Balogun is a key one. He's gone out on loan to the Championship. We want to see how he develops. And a few others have gone out on loan. Nothing too major. But again, there are still quite a few players in this squad that we do want to sell. The likes of El Neni is still around. The likes of Lacazette are still around. Let's see if we can drive up some interest for them. Let's see if we can get any offers on the table and hopefully get them out the door before transfer deadline day, because there are still one or two that I'm looking to sign. But here's how we line up then ahead of the West Ham United game. We've been rocked with an injury to Emile Smith-Rowe during the last pre-season game, which is a bit of an issue. Looking at it, it was a 4-week injury, they said, so he's back within 10 days to 3 weeks. Ødegaard as well picked up an injury during pre-season. I think it's something that we've found on FM22, that injuries in particular are probably a little bit overpowered right now. Whether that's something they'll change remains to be seen. But looking at Ødegaard, we'll bring him in. We're just going to ease him in, I reckon. He's failed a fitness test at the minute, so we're not going to take too many risks. So we've gone with Saka as that advanced playmaker on the left-hand side, and Pepe starting as the inverted winger on that right-hand side. Lacazette and Aubameyang spearheading the attack. Nkunku starts as that box-to-box midfielder. As I said, he's going to be a key part of our season going forward. Thomas Partey is the defensive deep line playmaker. Tavares, Gabriel, White and Tomiyasu. Tierney as well is another player who he wasn't quite fit enough given the pre-season friendlies and stuff. We didn't want to really risk him. I don't want to have key players out for so long. And again, we're only playing once a week, so there should be more than enough time for him to recover. Here we are then, viewers. First game at the London Stadium, our first away game of the season to West Ham. They're setting up pretty much as we would expect it. Antonio up front. Looks like a 4-2-3-1 with Bowen and Benrahma out wide. Let's get this started and let's hope we can get our first win of the season. Let's get this game started. Let's encourage the boys first up and let's hope we can get this victory. First highlight of the game goes to West Ham. Cresswell with a corner headed over the top by new signing for them, Kurt Zouma. We are obviously playing quite slow. The tempo is a lot lower, so we are trying to keep possession. We are trying to move the ball around quite a bit, so hopefully that doesn't cause too many problems. Gabriel plays it into Nkunku. Saka plays it into Aubameyang, who lays it off to Lacazette, who's gone for it from 45 yards. And it's hit the top of the crossbar and gone over. Our first highlight, our first chance of the season. And I didn't expect it to come like that. West Ham are dominated at the minute. Looking at the stats, they've had way more shots. They've got higher XG. We've got more possession, but nothing seems to be happening from it. Jared Bowen was through on goal and Aaron Ramsdale saves. We need to do something about this. So we're going to drop it down to... No, we're going to go up to attacking for the final 20 minutes of the half. Let's see if we can create some momentum for ourselves. Let's see if we can create some chances. We've only had... Well, it's just jumped up to 4 shots, 1 on target. We're doing well with the possession stats. We're keeping the ball well, but we aren't really doing anything with it. We haven't really looked too much of a threat. So, at halftime, we can get the boys in, keep it at 0-0, and let's see if we can turn things around this second half. Let's pump the fist. Come on. We want the boys to get a result for the fans. We are going to stay on attacking for at least the start of the second half. See if we can create some momentum. See if we can get a clear-cut chance or two. But the first highlight does go to West Ham. And there's a build-up down this left-hand side. Cresswell and Ogbonna, but Ben Rama's through. He's running in on goal. That's a great shot. And it's a fantastic save by Ramsdale. He's not having the best of games. And Nkunku's on a yellow card, so we don't really want to risk that. Dennis Zakaria, he is injured. I don't really want to risk that either. Maitland-Niles can come on for Nkunku. Or actually, what we'll do is we'll bring on Granit Xhaka and play him as a deep line playmaker. Move Partey as more of a box-to-box mid. On that left-hand side, we'll bring on Tierney because, again, I don't want to go down to 10 men. That would be the worst possible outcome here. And we're going to change Pepe from an inverted winger to an inside forward on attack. Let's see if maybe down that right-hand side we'll be able to create some more chances. Obviously, Pepe needs to be one of our biggest players this season if he is sticking around. Let's see if in the second half he can maybe make the difference. He hasn't really been involved in the game at all. None of our attackers seem to. Let's get some more chances and hopefully nick it in the final sort of 15-10 minutes. Time is ticking away here and there hasn't been much in way of action, but there's a late corner for West Ham. They've hit the post. Cresswell whipped it in and they've hit the post. West Ham are probably have been the better side here, possession or not. They've created much more chances. We've come away with a 0-0 draw against West Ham in our first game. Given the balance of play, I can't really complain about that. It's not the best of starts for us. Looking at things here, we did move up a little bit in terms of our positioning, but struggled to perform. Aubameyang with 0 chances. That's not what you want from your first game of the season. We did manage to keep the point. We kept the clean sheet as well, so that's fantastic. So it's something to hold on to. So looking at the fixtures then, we do have Southampton up next, but I'll play that, and the next time I'll see you for an episode will be up against Gillingham in that second round Carabao Cup. I'll be looking to rotate some players ahead of the Wolves Premier League game. We might make that a double header, go for Gillingham and Wolves. And then what we will do is see you after for the double header against Liverpool and Manchester City. Those are the first 2 big tests in the season for us. It will be a good test of our squad. Hopefully we'll have it finalised by then. Obviously deadline day, we want to make sure that we've finished our squad entirely. We've brought in all of the players that we want. But that, folks, will just about wrap up today's episode. I appreciate you for watching. If you are enjoying the content, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to hit that like button. As I said, let me know in the comments how your first experiences with Football Manager 22 is going. Let me know who your first save is with, who your first signing was. Let me know how deep you are into the season as well. Apologise, it was a boring 0-0, but over the course of the season, I'm sure we'll get things more attacking. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you for the next one.